Hello everyone, this is the Master Chief 1, and welcome to my Donkey Kong Country 3 Let's Play Long Play Part 4. In this part, I once again show off beating Cranky Kong. I am pretty pleased to say. Did you see that last shot? It went for the target, honest! Let's have a big round of applause for our contestant! Anyway, on to the next boss battle, which actually has a little bit more challenge. But as you can see, it's a pretty cool type of boss battle, as we're doing a fun snowball fight with a huge, gigantic snowman. But unfortunately, I get hit by the snowball. Yes, and he's actually a pretty deadly snowman with a cannon type hat that shoots out giant snowballs from it. Aside from, ironically enough, him throwing snowballs at you. Anyway, you see that his weak spot is, oddly enough, this glowing light on his purple scarf for some reason. But it's actually kind of a difficult target to hit. I would say this boss is actually a wee bit more challenging than Squirt the Crab, but not by much. I got a laugh in your face. Bleak the unfriendly snowman. And I'm not joking about that, he really is the unfriendly snowman. I really don't get why bleak snowballs are so much bigger than the ones you throw at him. I mean, seriously, why aren't yours as big as those? Anyway, you'll see that his snowball cannonball patterns get so much harder to dodge as you progress on ahead. As I'm trying to dodge these giant snowball cannons. Well, snowball cannonballs. And I unfortunately do not hit the weak spot on a scarf. And unfortunately I get hit again. As I have to dodge these giant snowball cannonballs. And there we go! The snowman has been defeated! Now, here's an interesting thing I now have to mention. Actually, when it comes to which Kong actually prevailed within the level now, it actually counts all of the victories within each of the levels actually now. My word! How on earth did you find me up here? Well, never mind about that. My name is Blizzard. I've been up here for weeks getting ready for my attempt to conquer Cave 3. It looks like I'm going to miss my best friend Blue's birthday. Say, could you do me a favor, Dixie?
No problem.
That's great. Could you take him this present for me? Please, I'd be ever so grateful. Yes, and now it's time to complete most of the Brother Bear objectives. Now, considering I now have enough, coins in order to buy stuff from Bazaar. And if you're curious, yeah, he said a friend. So yes, when they mean brother bears, they mean the other sense of the word brother, in the sense that they're all bears who are friends. All except for two of them who are actually, oddly enough, really are brothers. Anyway, let's take this present over to Blue and see what's inside. A present for me? Oh, thank you, Dixie. You really made my day. Let's have a look inside. Oh, it's a bowling ball. Well, it's far too heavy for me. I know. Why don't you have it, Dixie? Well, I'm actually pretty happy. I'm actually really happy that now Blue isn't so sad considering that, it shows that actually somebody remembered his birthday. But anyway, yes, I have lots of old artillery, but Betsy's my favorite. What have you got there, Dixie? A heavy ball? Well, you never know. It just might work. Shall I load Big Betsy off and up and fire her off?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's give it a go. Ready, aim, and fire! Because as I mentioned in my previous part, there is actually no other way to get up to this cave. In order to get the banana bird, this would have been so much cooler if I would have been able to execute that Simon Says pattern on my first try. But I'm gonna have to try and just do it again. So will I succeed in repeating the pattern this time? Oh yes, I will, because this is extremely easy. And another banana bird down. Now, if you're curious, I was just being an idiot, and I accidentally forgot to go get the banana bird in K3. So, yeah, that was my mistake. I know exactly where it is. It's just I was being a total idiot again, like I was with that of Cremwood Forest. But anyway, let's go to Bazaar's general store and buy some useful items. What will it be on your fine day, Dixie?
Where's the shell from?
This shell was found at the bottom of Lake Orangatanga, and it's pretty rare at 5 bear coins. It's a bargain. What would you like? Would you like to purchase this fine specimen?
Yes, please.
It's a deal. I hope you're really happy. Good day, Dixie. What can I do for you?
Who owns the castle?
Well, I ventured up there once, but if you want to know what I discovered, it'll cost you 2 coins. So what do you think? Well, once I got to the castle grounds, I saw a sign which said, "Keep right off our land," so I ran off. Good morning. What would you like to know?
Is that a mirror?
Yes, but it's no ordinary one, though. It was Cranky's great-grandfather's. I can't let it go for more than 50 coins. Can I interest you in buying this fabulous item?
Yes, please.
I can tell you now, my friends, that you have made a very worthy purchase.
day, thanks.
Hey, you just have a really nice day now, Dixie, you hear? Man, that Bazaar is really a friendly guy, I gotta say. Now, as you see, I had no idea. I just had to collect a couple of more banana birds before the flower actually showed up for some reason. Well, good day to you, Dixie. How are you? The name's Barter. Whoops! Have you? That posing funky fellas has been acting a bit weird lately. I'd swear he's been working on some super secret project, but I reckon it's just some pipe dream. Dirty, I'd take a look in the mirror if I were you. Is that a mirror? If it is, could I possibly borrow it?
Why, certainly.
Thanks for that, Dixie. Oh no, look at the state of me. I'm a wreck. Take this wrench. I don't really need it. So yes, as his name implies, he actually is a is a swapper or a trader of certain things. Anyway, I know it might not seem important to give him the mirror and everything else, but I guarantee you it is. Anyway, it's now time to go to Barnacle and give him that shell for his collection. Have you seen my shell collection? It's nearly complete. What a beautiful shell. It's just what I need to finish off my collection. Say, Cogs, would you swap that shell for the bird? You would? That's great. Here, take this bird, please. Please take care of him.
What was that? Why don't I use my hearing aid? If I did, the batteries would run out, silly. Do keep a lookout for any banana birds. They're ever such nice company.
Yes, I didn't even know Wrinkly Kong had a hearing aid, so I guess she's that old. As we go, on to the next area. Okay, this level is actually not hard at all, in my honest opinion. It's not even important to keep both Kong members, actually, considering this level is pretty simple. But yet again, we're actually the purple parrot, once again. Or one of the purple parrots yet again. Anyway, like I said, this level is pretty simple. The only thing that makes this level a bit of a challenge is that brand new Kremling enemy that you see that are called Copters. Yes, and ironically enough, they get the name Copters because they're holding, oddly enough, spinning plastic blades, and they wear hard helmets on their heads. Anyway, due to their spinning motion and their hard helmets on top of their heads, Copters are actually another small enemy that's actually invincible. And I'm not joking, they're invincible just like orange zingers were in Donkey Kong Country 2. As I'm dealing with another awesome bonus barrel challenge, as I kill off the green buzzes. Also, several of the Copters' patterns within this level actually make things a bit more frustrating and a pain in the ASS indefinitely. Oh, will I succeed at killing all the buzzes, and thankfully enough, the bonus barrel challenge really isn't all that tough. Thankfully enough, a lot of these copter patterns have simple to understand strategies when it comes to trying to avoid them. But there is one exception that actually I gotta say is a serious pain in the ass. As it should be pretty self-explanatory how we got past that obstacle, or how to get past that obstacle. Anyway, this is what I'm talking about right here. There'll actually be another copter at the bottom, as you see. So, yeah, that's why that's such a pain in the ass, considering that the purple parrot character has the purple parrot character has such limited amount of room to fly between those spaces. And I don't know why I died those 2 times like a moron. And yet again that damn annoying copter pattern got me again and killed me off. It's ever irritating without a doubt. Anyway, yes, I know the steel pig barrel's up here, but the reason we need this is because the coin is coming up. Another DK coin down! And yet again, I had to deal with that ever fucking frustrating copter pattern! And that's the one thing I really hate about copters, when they surprise you when they're flying from bottom to top like that. As they're a bunch of spinning fools. Anyway, the pattern should be pretty obvious. What you gotta do here to get through this obstacle. And yet again I'm dealing with another damn limited space frustrating copter pattern. Oh yes, oh yes. And yet again I died. And yet again those stupid damn copters killed me off. Thankfully enough I got through that fucking frustrating pattern this time. Yes, and another buzz pattern that's pretty obvious as to what you gotta do. That would have been so much cool. That would have been so much cooler if I could have gotten all the Kong letters and got myself an extra life. But thankfully enough, I got one after collecting 99 bananas once again. And now the patterns, as you're getting closer to the end of the level, are actually getting a little bit more tricky in order to kill off the green buzz. Anyway, trying to get up to this bonus barrel challenge is actually pretty tough, and it's probably best to try and keep both Kongs, so that way you have a better shot at jumping on the copter's head. And remember how I said that they're invincible? Well, oddly enough, their heads are actually quite useful, as you can see for jumpable, for jumpable pads and stuff of that nature. Anyway, it doesn't matter which Kong you use, considering that Dixie Kong can't be able to actually glide when she's doing this motion where she's bouncing off the copter's head in order to get more vantage height. Anyway, another level down. Anyway, why don't we just save?
Hurry up and save your game, kitty. I'm late for my bingo.
Yep, Wrinkly Kong is definitely living the retired life without a doubt.
Do keep a lookout for any banana birds. They're ever such nice company.
Anyway, on to the next Brother Bear. Or Benny and his chair left.
Good day, crazy kitty. My name's Benny. Me and my brother Bjorn are on the chairlift. My lift will never break down. You can be sure of it. Would you like to be using the chairlift?
And yes, a nod from my head saying yes.
Okie dokie. Strap yourself in and away you go.
I only did that because, of course, Kitty Kong is a baby, and I don't really think he can actually speak, say the words, okay, like that. Anyway, the next level is actually one of the most challenging levels in all of Donkey Kong Country 3. It is without a doubt probably the second hardest to complete level in Donkey Kong Country 3, but it's called Kong Fused Cliffs. As you can see, you're actually climbing on a rope that's a fuse. And it's even more frustrating because you can't see where the enemies are coming from the top of the screen, which makes things even more irritating. However, there are strategies to, thankfully enough, avoiding every enemy's pattern within this, even on toughest mode. But trust me, it's actually pretty challenging. However, despite what I couldn't remember, oddly enough, despite this level being hard, Kong Fused Cliffs actually is quite nice to you and shows you the exact locations of each of the bonus barrel stages. Yeah, you see that banana right there? That indicates the next bonus barrel challenge. As I have to blast up with these blast barrels, but what makes it a little bit challenging is that you can't always know where the buzz is. Anyway, the thing that makes this level kind of really frustrating and really irritating is that you'll have to start the entire level again in order to get back to the bonus barrel stages. But thankfully enough, I executed that right. wrong. It's a fun level, but this level is a real pain in the butt. It's also probably best to be Dixie Kong, considering she is a lot smaller and she can avoid a lot of these buzzer and copter obstacles that you're gonna be experiencing in this ever frustrating level. And yet again I had to die. And why didn't I just climb up the rope faster than that? Or why didn't I climb up the fuse-like rope faster than that? And again, and unfortunately I hit a stupid buzzer pattern. Thankfully enough, I'm pretty pleased to say that I've gotten past a couple of buzz obstacles. As this is a pretty enduring challenge. Yeah, if you're curious when it came to that buzz pattern, if I would have just kept climbing up, I could have been able to get to a bonus barrel stage easy. And unfortunately, I get killed off by many stupid buzz patterns. And yet again by the fuse of that rope. Yes, the whole idea of this level is that you gotta dodge the enemies and keep moving. But it's, as you see, really frustrating because you gotta avoid the fuse, and you have to try and avoid the enemies that are above you a lot of the times, and avoid their patterns, considering that they don't give you any opportunities whatsoever to dodge the enemies and their obstacles and whatnot. Man, I was being such a moron when it came to that. And yet again I died. And I get killed off by a stupid copter yet again. And yet again, not surprisingly enough, I died and continue to die. Oh, will I be able to dodge all the copters correctly this time and get up to and collect the bonus barrel coin? I really hope I can. And yes, I did. And yet again I died, and I died once again. I died again, and yet again I died. I really don't know why I didn't edit this out. I mean, after all, I don't really reach the end of the levels, so I really don't think that there's any point showing this off. But whatever. So I'm climbing up these climbing up this fuse, trying to dodge all these ever-annoying enemies. Oh yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. Actually, I stand corrected. I was thankful enough actually able to get to the end of this. Despite what I actually said, I'm sorry about that, but I was thinking to myself, I did not reach the end of the level. Anyway, it is important to climb up this fuse to the tippy top. Anyway, in regards to this coin, this coin, it's important to it is important just to throw the steel keg barrel above, as you see, like that. Otherwise, if you fall like this, you're gonna have to die if it's on toughest difficulty mode. Considering if you don't have a Kong member, you can't, they can't throw you back up to the tippy top again. And unfortunately, I die in the process. Yes, like I just said, as long as you do it that way, being able to collect the DK coin is a cinch. Anyway, it will soon be on to the next level, but it's actually quite important to be able to save. Now, this actually takes a little bit of a while to wait for the chairlift to come back around. But when it does, then you can be able to get back to the save state when it comes to Razor Ridge. Now, I only came back here because I thought maybe I could be able to get the flower and complete Bramble's little segment. I'm glad those horrible machines are destroyed. Perhaps my beautiful flowers can start to grow again. Now, I thought after talking with Bramble, the flower would be there, but still not there for some reason. And that's probably because I did not collect enough banana birds as of yet. And yes, I was actually quite right when I came to that Brother Bear's name in the last part. It is Bramble. So I guess I didn't get it wrong after all. Anyway, after finally completing one of the more real frustrating levels in the game, in the game, it'll be on to the next one soon. Hey, look at me now, Kongs. Don't you think I'm drop-dead gorgeous? I'm a lean, mean machine. Anyway, we'll have to go back to barter again because we need that mirror for an important reason. Anyway, you might be wondering, well, what is the wrench useful for? Well, remember when I said there are two brother bears who are actually identical brothers? Well, here's the other one.
Oh, hello, how are you, my fine furry Kongs? I'm being Bjorn, the brother bear. I'm afraid my chairlift is broken. I lent my number 6 wrench to someone and they didn't return it to me. Hey, you found my wrench. Could I have it back?
It's yours anyway.
Thank you, top Kongs. You may use my ski lift for free. From now on.
Which I gotta say is actually pretty generous of Bjorn to do, and for Benny as well. Anyway, I have actually rode on chairlifts before up a mountain before. It was really awesome. So yes, I've actually been on real mountains before, and in addition to that, I've also been on chairlifts before too, up mountains, which I gotta say is really cool and definitely to do. Oh, will I be able to complete this Simon Says pattern, as they are getting a tad bit more challenging to repeat? Will I do it right this time? Nope, I did not. And that time around, it was actually pretty easy to execute. And thankfully enough, I repeated the pattern right that time. As we go to the next awesome level. Anyway, just like Buzzer Barrage, which I don't know why it has that level has that name. Pretty much, I think Gleam and Glow something or whatever the name of this level is just as difficult as the first level of Razor Ridge here. Why is it as difficult as the first level of Razor Ridge, which really isn't all that hard? Well, actually, most of this level is pretty easy and straightforward. The idea, as you can see, is that unless the Gleam Glows, which are a new aquatic enemy, which are invincible, but thankfully enough, it's actually useful that they're invincible, considering that every time you hit a Gleam and Glow, it actually illuminates this underwater environment for you while you're on guard, the swordfish. And actually, the only thing that makes this level actually a bit challenging is the Lurchin patterns. There's also a new underwater enemy, as you saw too, called Bounty Basses. And ironically enough, as their names indicate, which Bounty Basses are those big fat fishes that are red with the white stripes. They actually have prizes inside of them similar to booty birds. Anyway, oddly enough, this level is actually not too bad even when you don't hit a Gleam and Glow, because for some reason there's still at least enough light within the level in order to be able to see what you're doing for the most part. But it makes things easier if you do hit a Gleam and Glow, as you can actually see absolutely everything without a limited amount of light. Or a limited amount of illumination, really. Yes, this Yes, just like I said, this is the only thing that makes this level a bit hard. Well, not really real hard, but I mean like a bit tough is just the Lurchin patterns. In reality, most of them aren't challenging, but there are some, as you just saw there, that can be a bit tricky to avoid. As we are traveling through these awesome underwater coral beds, we've awesomely enough on guard the swordfish. And yet again, another pattern similar to the copters. However, I'm fortunate enough to say, at least when it comes to this pattern, you have a lot more thankfully enough, a lot more room to move around compared to the copter's annoying ass pattern. Anyway, thankfully enough, getting most of the collectible items in this level are not challenging at all, to say the least. Just be careful when it comes to these patterns here, because as you know, if On Guard were to hit Lurchins from the bottoms, he would die. Anyway, this is actually a lot more. As you see, this is pretty tricky to be able to execute a charge attack very well to take down Lurchins in this game, as you can see. Yeah, because it actually is pretty tough to be able to hit a Lurchin when they expose their insides from that of their spiky exteriors. So you really gotta be careful and time a charge attack really well, as you can see, in order to get to the bottom and reach the bonus barrel challenge for this level. Or if you want to take down any Lurchins in that matter. But it's best to probably avoid them, considering they're one of those very few really challenging and really tough underwater enemies in Donkey Kong, in the Donkey Kong Country series in general, just like in Donkey Kong Country, that are actually completely invincible to On Guard the Swordfish's attacks. And yes, I'm not joking. Similar to croctopuses and clambos, well, almost similar to croctopuses and clambos, Lurchins are really challenging underwater enemies for On Guard the Swordfish to take down. Anyway, now that I've completed the level, just like I told you, this is actually not it's not challenging to once again defeat the coin and get the DK coin in general. Now, I really don't know why they call this level Pothole Panic. I guess Rareware was just running out of creative level names and whatnot. Considering that this level has nothing to do with potholes at all. Anyway, you'll experience a new type of enemy, and they're not really too challenging as long as you avoid the bombs that they throw. But a new barrel enemy similar to that of Clasps being a new barrel enemy called Chuchuckas. And Chuchuckas are one of those only barrel enemies in the entire game that only appear once, or they're one of those enemies in the entire game that only appear once and not several times in a row for some reason. Anyway, this level, as long as you avoid the Chuchuckas, is actually a pretty straightforward and simple level in general when it comes to dodging dodging the enemies in general. considering that in this level you're actually just riding a lot of animal buddies, and awesomely enough, many of the enemies' patterns are pretty simple in order to be able to dodge or to take down the said enemy. I am very pleased to point out. So yes, a pretty fun, and quite easy, straightforward level without a doubt, as long as you avoid the Chuchaka's throwable bombs. And it's a lot easier to complete than that of Buzzer Barrage and the last level that you saw. And as you're already aware, it's actually pretty easy that if you lose a lot of times if you lose your animal buddy, you can get them back right away. Just be cautious and take your time, and definitely take your time. I thought that considering there was water, Ellie the elephant may have ran all the way back there so I could get her again. But unfortunately, for some reason she disappeared, stupidly enough. Anyway, I self-killed myself off on purpose. On purpose here because we need Ellie the elephant in order to reach a bonus barrel challenge. However, that death was not intentional. Anyway, to get up to this bonus barrel challenge, just jump with Ellie and then get off of her. Anyway, you'll have to do that same strategy here if you want to get all of the stars. I was just being such an idiot, thinking to myself that maybe I could collect all the stars just with Dixie Kong, but unfortunately enough, that's not how you complete this bonus barrel challenge. And I wasted too much time trying to complete it right. Yes, and if you don't complete it correctly, you can't be able to, you won't be able to keep your animal buddy for some reason. I don't know why, but you just can't. It doesn't make any sense to me, but oh well. Anyway, I decided to just complete the rest of the level, considering that the next bonus barrel challenge and completing the coin is actually pretty easy. And awesomely enough, we are introduced to Squitter the Spider. Yes, awesomely enough, in this level we actually get to ride almost every animal buddy in this in this level, which is really awesome, by the way. As long as you avoid the Chuchaka's throwable bombs, this is actually not a really challenging bonus barrel challenge in order to complete. Just be careful and you'll be able to get through this and avoid all those exploding bombs. Yes, this is actually as you see, even on toughest mode, this is pretty easy because considering we were riding animal buddies, it gave us a third hit count. Thus, it's actually pretty simple to get up here and get to the coin, I'm pretty happy to say, for this level. So I have to say, this is another well done level by Rareware, and definitely. And another level bites the dust. Anyway, I decided to cut back to the spot where I where I actually completed the bonus barrel challenge, and then I can proceed on ahead to the next level. Anyway, on to the next level, Ropey Rumpus. However, in my honest opinion, this level should have been called Buzzer Barrage. Why, you might ask? Well, this entire level is just nothing but buzzes in this. Buzzes, as you'll see. That's right, this entire level is just consisted of nothing but buzz obstacles. There's really no other enemies in this level except for coins. And this is actually a pretty simple level as long as you have Dixie Kong, similar to that of Creeping Clasps, actually. Considering her gliding capability along these horizontal ropes actually works out quite well to dodge all the buzz obstacles you'll experience in this level. Anyway, yes, to execute that, you're gonna have to jump really far right to that horizontal pattern. Anyway, this is actually really easy as long as you have Dixie Kong in order to get past those buzzes. So yes, pretty much Ropey Rumpus, or in my opinion, what this level should have been called Buzzer Barrage. In reality, it's actually a really easy level. Just take your time with this level and you'll find it's actually a piece of cake. I actually have to say I really like this level. It was a pretty cool, this is another pretty cool level and another really well-designed one yet again by Rareware. So yes, I wasn't joking when I said that the further you progress within the game, the less challenging, the less challenging some of the levels become. But unfortunately, like a moron, I was a little too impatient and didn't time that buzzer pattern correctly, and I did it again and died. And yet again I died, where I was just being an idiot, but thankfully enough I kept Dixie Kong this time. Anyway, yes, the reason why it's best to try and look down like that is because the coin is actually located somewhere near the bottom of you in this level. I'd say this level would be a lot more harder, like the second clasp level you experienced if you actually had to deal with any buzzer rope patterns that were taking you downward, and that were actually taking you downward in this level. But there actually isn't any. And yet again I had to die like an idiot. Anyway, the patterns that you have to help parry the parable bird dodge are not that hard, and you also as long as you know about this awesome shortcut, it actually is a lot more easier to get Perry the Parable Bird to the end of the level successfully. And it's important this time as you can see, it is important this time because now you have a bonus barrel challenge. However, it is actually more important to have Dixie Kong in order to complete this bonus barrel challenge. Actually, considering that after you complete this bonus barrel challenge, you reach the end of the level. I already had completed this with Kitty Kong, so I just went back within this level in order to collect the bonus barrel coin. But as you can see, thanks to Dixie Kong's gliding and her smaller size, completing this bonus barrel challenge is a lot more of a piece of cake. However, I was getting limited on my amount of time that I and finally got the bonus barrel coin. And there we are, another level completed. I decided to save yet again, considering now we're going to reach the boss of the game. And oddly enough, this is actually the hardest boss in all of Donkey Kong Country 3 to beat, actually. Yes, you heard me right. The next boss is actually the hardest one to beat in all of Donkey Kong Country 3. Yes, surprising. You would think that it would be the final boss, right? Well, actually, you'd be wrong. Surprisingly enough, for some reason in this game, the final boss is actually not the hardest boss to complete in the game. Even though, it should be pretty obvious by now who the final boss of the game's gonna be. But he, despite not being the hardest boss, he actually does have 2 stages yet again to complete, like in Donkey Kong. Well, 2 rounds to beat him in, like in Donkey Kong Country 2. Anyway, welcome to the hardest and most challenging and yet most irritating boss battle in the entire game. Yes, it's an underwater boss battle. And most gamers might, say, oh, why did it have to be underwater and blah, blah, blah and stuff like that? Well, actually, I have to say, Rareware actually constructs some pretty well 2D underwater levels. So, in reality, I'd say it's not that makes this boss battle an utter frustrating challenge. It's actually her first 2 stages, or Barbaros's, Barbaros's 2 challenges. Anyway, it is actually quite important, as you see, to try and hit one Lurchin and use it as a projectile to destroy the other one without losing both of your hit counts. Yes, both of your hit counts. And then just sacrifice one of your Kongs, because then it gets really annoying and challenging to yet again hit another Lurchin and get it to destroy those other Lurchins that are acting as defenses for their mother Barbaros. Anyway, This next second round is actually pretty hard too. You'll see that you have freaky enough these shellfishes that are these freaky squid-like shellfishes that lock onto you like missiles, and it's actually pretty difficult to try and position them just right in order to hit those Lurchins that are acting like protective shields for Barbaros. Anyway, yes, Barbaros is actually, as you can see, the mother of all Lurchin enemies. So yeah, I have to say that's quite frustrating. Quite frustrating to imagine that yes, the Lurchins actually come from a giant mother sea urchin, but they do. Anyway, as you see, once you get to this part, that part's actually not nearly as frustrating. However, it's Barbaros's first two rounds that make her really a pain in the butt to beat. Position this stupid shellfish missile correctly once it's locked onto me, so it hits that defensive Lurchin correctly, so then I can hit Barbaros with On Guard the Swordfish's sword-like nose. I finally was able to do it right this time. Now this next stage is actually, as you'll see, very reminiscent to that of the boss battle of King Zing Sting from Donkey Kong Country 2. As Barbaros will continue to shoot bloody like spikes from the bottom of her body at you. And yet again I die by one of those damn Lurchins, and I continue to die by these fucking Lurchins. Oh, I really hated this boss battle, really much. But thankfully enough, it's not as frustrating as the first round of Captain King K. Yeah, Captain K. Rool from Donkey Kong Country 2. And I don't know why I got hit by those spines. And yet again I had to die. And I died yet again. And yet again I died by those damn Lurchins. And I died by her spine attack. Thankfully enough, I wasn't a moron and knew how to dodge it this time. And was able to hit her a second time. And almost was able to take her down. However, when it comes to the third phase of Barbaros, you have to be extremely quick when it comes to trying to hit her. Otherwise you won't be able to complete it and collect the bonus coin. Anyway, this has been the Master Chief 1, and I hope that you've enjoyed my Donkey Kong Country 3 Let's Play Long Play Part 4, and I'll see you later. Goodbye, everyone.